morning and welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I will be giving a field review of this knife, and this is the casstrom Woodsman. Bog oak handle, Sleipner, I think I said that right, steel, and a leather sheath. Now I've had this knife about 2 months and I have used it, and I gotta say I like it. But I thought today now I'd give it a full review, fire lighting and a spot to carve in. I've got some materials here. I'm also going to use my silky Zubat saw, because let's face it, a knife this size needs a saw. I'm not going to use an axe, just this and the saw and a ferro rod. Right, so I'm going to prepare some wood now, cut some with the saw, and I think the first test I'll do, I'll make a quick baton with this knife. Job done. Nice quick baton, bit of weight on it. I do have another baton here, but it's not heavy enough. Timber's too thick to go through the middle, so I'm going to nibble off the sides. Well, that went pretty well. Obviously, a short blade, you know, you can't really go through big thick stuff, but if you nibble it down from the side, it works just fine. Check the edge. Edge is still the same, no chips, nothing, and I did go through a few knots. Right, well, batoning works fine, just remember, blade isn't huge. I'm going to switch to my small baton for the kindling. that's my kindling sorted. Now I have gathered a few twigs, so they're going to help as well. And I'm going to make some feather sticks now. Now unfortunately, half this log was wet. So what I've done, I've arranged the damp pieces in a circle in my fire pan. So the heat from the initial lighting helps them on their way, dries them out a little bit. The base is a crisscross configuration to allow maximum air in for the lighting. I've picked the best of the sticks to make feather sticks from the drier half, so that's what I'm going to do now. Well, there's the first one. Now I'm not going to bore you with making any more. That is fine enough to take a spark from a ferro rod, no problem at all. I'll probably make another 3. I'll probably get away with 1 or 2, but I like making feather sticks, so I'm going to make a few more. Everything's in place. I got my feather sticks with my one very good one, the igniter stick. I've got some nice dry twigs. I've got my splits, and I actually found by the river some dry Japanese knotweed twigs. They're not the best thing to light the fire, but they are bone dry, so we're going to use them as well. My ferro rod, it's actually, the top end's an X-Attack, but the bottom end is a light my fire, because I really don't get on with the X-Attack bars, they're too soft for me. So I epoxied a light my fire bar, a Scout in there. Right, I'm going to dig out my igniter stick and give it a go. Hot. That's lit. Now it's time for tea. Fire's lit, tea's been drunk. Now I'm going to do a spot of carving. Piece of hazel here, I've already cut one pot hanger notch on it. I'm going to cut another one. This is a good carving test really, because it's something we all use at some point. A nice pot hanger. Basically, if you can do that notch, you can do just about any notch you want. For trap triggers or anything in particular. Now one thing about this knife is it has got a sharp spine. It's not ridiculously sharp, but it is sharp enough. If you have got soft hands, doing this and pushing with your thumb, is going to annoy you a bit. Personally, I'd prefer a sharp spine to a rounded spine any day of the week. Done. Piece of cake. Now, personally, I do prefer a 3mm or an 1/8 thickness on a blade this size, but this works just fine. And even when you're using the tip to get in to do the small cuts, although there's quite a bit of meat on it, it's no problem, it's fine. Yes, good. Now, when I got this knife, it wasn't stupidly sharp. It was just about shaving, and I gave it a strop and it was fine. But I think ideally I could do with putting it on the stones 1000 grit up, just to get the tram lines off it. But it's not a deal breaker. It's still working fine, and I haven't sharpened it, and I've carved quite a lot of feather sticks with it. In fact, when I was given it, I think I carved either 10 or 20, and it's got the same edge, so not much wrong with this steel. Holds an edge well, can't really fault it. It's a very comfortable knife. One thing I did notice, I don't know if you can see this, but the plunge line is really crisp. It's immensely crisp. I can't get it that crisp when I'm making them. I don't think many can, to be honest with you. So I don't know how exactly they're grinding that, but that is one crisp plunge line. And if you sharpen a lot of knives, you will know that that crisp plunge line is a plus, because you can get your stone right in tight. There's no round radius there to try and get rid of, or when you're sharpening you tend to sharpen a few mil down, so you're losing a bit. Well, you won't when you're sharpening this, because you can get in really tight, especially if you're using diamond stones with a nice sharp edge. Water stones tend to round, or if you're doing it the emery cloth and strop method, you can get in really tight with that as well. So that tight plunge cut is a definite plus. Now, one thing I didn't notice when I had it, it's got liners. It's bog oak, black, and it's got black liners. Now, I don't know why they didn't put a coloured liner in. It has certainly made the knife more aesthetically pleasing. I'm sure they had their reasons, but there is a liner on it. Finish wise, it's pretty well finished. It's probably not as well finished as a handmade, but there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know if they're corby or pins, I haven't got a clue, but I knocked it through logs and it's not coming loose. So yes, a very strong, comfortable knife. Well, it carves fine. It lit the fire just fine. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use this spine, make some fat wood scrapings, light it with a ferro rod. Yes, it is nice and sharp. Scrapes just fine. Now I'm going to try it with my Uberleben ferro rod. they are pretty fine. Job done. Well, zero complaints on the spine. Works excellent for scraping and ferro rod lighting. Can't fault it. Now I'm sure some of you are watching this video who perhaps never watched me before, or you're looking for an upgrade to a motor or whatever, or a halter force you may have been using and learnt on, and you want something a bit more bushcrafty, but you can't really afford to go down the custom route because most customs will be over £200, $250, whatever you are. This is a good knife. Now I did say I was given this knife. I was given it to review. I'll be absolutely honest with you, but if I thought it was a pile of crap, I wouldn't have taken it. Simple as that. I know the design is sound because I know Roger's knives very well, very well. So I knew the design was sound. My only thing was, is the handle going to be too narrow? Is the steel going to be a bit iffy? No, it's great. It's a very good knife. I would definitely buy one of these before a Garberg. Problem I find with the Garberg, although it's an excellent knife, and I've got two of them and I use them every now and again, I don't like the profile of the front of the Garberg. It's too rounded. I like a shallow sweep for woodwork. The Garberg to me is more of a survival utility knife than a bushcraft knife. That is a bushcraft knife. If you're in the UK and you're thinking of buying one, I would appreciate it, and so would Roger, if you bought it from him, because it's his design and he does supply them. Loads of people sell these, plenty of companies, but if you're in the UK, do me and Roger a favour, support small business, get one from Roger, buy some bushcraft. This is the casstrom. If by any chance you're watching this video and you'd like me to design a knife for you, I have some ideas. Get in touch. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your comments, I appreciate your views, and I certainly appreciate a thumbs up. Until the next time, ta-ra! Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your comments. Start that again. The last thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to use this spine and I'm going to make some scrapings with, I'm going to start this again because I'm rambling a bit. Casstrom, if you're watching and you fancy me, I'll start again. Sharpener. I can't fucking say it. Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. This is... forget it, I can't remember what it's called. Completely slipped my brain. It's like bamboo shit. It's invasive, it came from Japan, I can't remember the name of it. There we are.